Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are taking an official course syllabus and literally transforming it into your personal roadmap for becoming a global professional in social integration. If you're stepping into fields like social work, community support, or gender equality, well, you already know that communication is everything. But doing it in a foreign language, that requires a whole different set of tools. Let's dive right in.
Here's a quick look at our agenda for today. 1. English and social integration. 2. Unit 1. Professional profiles. 3. Unit 2. Helping the people. 4. Unit 3. Identity and equality. And finally, 5. Core learning outcomes.
All right, Section 1. English and social integration. The why.
I want you to hear this quote from the source material because it really hits the nail on the head regarding your future career. It says, working in social integration and equality means working with people, identities, and life situations that are often complex and diverse. It's a complicated world out there, right? You aren't just dealing with straightforward, simple transactions. You're going to be navigating incredibly sensitive, highly nuanced human experiences. We're talking sudden housing crises, mediating domestic disputes, or even managing community health interventions. And to do that on an international scale, or honestly, even within diverse local communities, you absolutely need the right communicative tools to handle those interactions safely and respectfully.
Now, you've probably taken English classes before where the entire goal was just surviving a traumatic grammar test, right? Well, this is completely different. Here, the focus shifts entirely away from just conjugating verbs correctly and moves toward mastering a vital communication tool for your daily social work. It's about speaking ethically, communicating effectively, and truly serving a community-based environment.
And just so you know, we're pulling all of this directly from the official Generalitat de Catalunya course materials. This is the exact official curriculum designed for higher vocational training in social integration and the promotion of gender equality. So it gives you a super practical framework, showing precisely what leading institutions actually expect from you out in the field.
Okay, moving to Section 2. Unit 1. Professional profiles.
So picture this. Imagine walking into your very first social work agency. Maybe it's an NGO abroad or an international community center. This first unit, it prepares you to confidently present exactly who you are, precisely describe your role, and navigate the daily routines of the social sector, all in English. It really establishes your professional baseline.
You'll be tackling realistic professional scenarios right out of the gate. You're going to learn how to communicate in basic professional situations and write simple, clear emails. And hey, these aren't just generic messages. We're talking about specific, real-world tasks, like introducing yourself to a new partner NGO or coordinating a resource pickup with a local municipality. By mastering the language of your own profile, your workplace, and your daily routine, you build the absolute confidence needed to thrive in an English-speaking social work environment.
Let's look at Section 3. Unit 2. Helping the people.
So the crucial point here is learning how to interact directly with the users of social services. This requires a ton of empathy and incredibly careful consideration. You aren't just talking at people, you're working with them to navigate their challenges. Your English needs to be just as respectful, precise, and supportive as your native language would be in these super sensitive situations.
This is where you actually practice the critical daily tasks of a social worker. First, you assess the situation and identify a user's needs. Second, you provide guidance and offer help without ever sounding condescending. And third, you properly document it all by writing basic, structured reports in English. Mastering these operational steps ultimately connects right back to the larger goal, helping the individual feel heard, supported, and respected.
All right, Section 4. Unit 3. Identity and equality.
Here's where the scope really widens. You're going to be diving into essential modern concepts that literally shape our societies. We're talking about using inclusive language, understanding cultural nuances, and discussing gender diversity and equal opportunities. And let me be clear, these aren't just corporate buzzwords. They are the fundamental frameworks you absolutely need to operate as a modern social integration professional.
Mastering the language of identity and equality really pushes your boundaries outward. It's like expanding your career paths in every possible global direction. This unit equips you to break out of a single local context and become relevant, well, basically anywhere in the world. Because ultimately, you aren't just learning to work locally. The final parts of this unit actively prepare you to live abroad, hunt for international jobs, write a killer CV, and ace job interviews in English. And that preparation is so key because a CV for a massive multinational NGO looks very different from a standard local community center application. It effectively bridges the gap between your social work education and the global job market.
Finally, Section 5, Core Learning Outcomes. The source syllabus actually provides a really dense, detailed list of expected outcomes, but we can easily synthesize them into 3 main areas of mastery for you: speaking, writing, and cultural awareness. Whether you're trying to extract main ideas from a noisy community meeting, interpreting long, complex texts, or just knowing the polite way to address a local leader, it all falls right into these 3 pillars.
Notice the active verbs here. You aren't just passively reading from a textbook. You are actively extracting critical information, adapting your tone depending on who you're speaking to, translating complex documents, and most importantly, confidently expressing and defending your professional viewpoints. This is a highly active, dynamic use of language.
And here is a vital outcome. You will master international conventions. Because let's face it, getting the vocabulary right, that's really only half the battle. Understanding the specific values, the beliefs, and the social norms of the community you're working in ensures your communication isn't just grammatically correct, but culturally sensitive and deeply appropriate. So with this incredibly comprehensive toolkit, covering everything from introducing your professional profile to navigating complex conversations on inclusion, you are totally ready for the global stage. The real question isn't just where you'll take your career next, but whose lives you will transform when language is no longer a barrier,